Okay. This is a replay of MCanning given to me from the MCanning replay pack by ZombieGrub. That's the introduction. In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, he is MCanning. In the top right, as the blue Zerg, it is Barcode, henceforth known as Barcode. Boris just had a freaking spider walk across the tablet screen. Burn the tablet screen. Thing is, if spiders just would not reveal themselves to us, I would love to have them in my room. In fact, I know I have a spider in my room. About 2 or 3 years ago, so I'm sure this thing has laid eggs and is now all over the place, I was playing a StarCraft 2 game, and I had a poster behind me. I had a Kerrigan poster behind me, and I saw something skitter across, and I went, oh shit, it's a spider. And I went to ask the guy to pause, and he said no. And I appealed to him and said, please, there's a spider, and I want to catch it before it disappears. And he said no. So that guy was a dick, and I wish I remembered his name, because that's just a really mean thing to do. I would continue to belittle him publicly because it was just that much of an affront to me, but I don't remember his name. But be cool on ladder, guys, alright? Be cool. Oh, that's a good one, Pinnacle. He must have mistook the World Wide Web for his own. That's a good one. Yeah. Alright, this game. So I don't know anything about the barcode, but this is on the Korean server, I guess. Is it, again, Korean server? Because it's the same name, same clan, so I'm going to assume it's the Korean server. MCanning plays that a decent amount. But barcode, no idea. Just a Zerg player, and who's not cheesing. MCanning, big-time streamer, big hotshot, a true representative of the American spirit, and a fantastic guy. And he loves his special ways of playing. Most well known for his disruptor use. That's basically what he's known for, as well as just being very patriotic. So that actually kind of sums him up. But he's a very good Protoss. I don't know what he's on the Korean server, but he's GM consistently, and he does play occasionally in like the WCS qualifiers, brackets, and all that. Recent results, weren't too happy with them. But I think, as of right now, MCanning is still more of a streamer than a tournament player. I think that could easily change. I don't mean to, I don't mean that as a demeaning thing at all. But I think there is definitely a lot of things you have to go through to really be a true tournament player that doesn't include just playing a bunch of ladder games, right? Like, anyone can be, quote-unquote, a ladder hero, right? Fear Dragon's thing. But to actually get the experience, to have so many build orders and varieties of play styles that you advance in a bracket, especially of, that high quality that WCS does provide, it's a different matter. And I don't know what his goals are. Personally, I don't watch the stream enough, but if he wanted to be a tournament contender, I feel like that might be possible. But it's very difficult to be a tournament contender as well as a great streamer due to all the talking you have to do. So... But he's still very good, very fun player to watch, certainly for these replay casts. I wish him the best of luck in the next WCS. It would be really cool for him to actually qualify for one as the next American Hope. This is going to be a Phoenix opener into an Oracle. Sometimes this can lead into something a little bit cheesier, but I can imagine this is actually just legitimately an Oracle opener. So into a couple of gateways, third base eventually, not the charge all in basically what I'm getting to. Robo does come down, alright, so... And the gases are filled. All indications that this is going to go into a longer game. So, could go into the Templar Archives for that council, but... We'll see. Now, the Barcode won't see very much anymore. That was the only Overlord they had out on the map, and any other one would be killed anyways by the Phoenix. But if they get Overlord Speed or an Overseer later on, things will be okay. The thing is, for what the Barcode scouted, it was pretty much the intel that he... quote-unquote needs. There is that weird tricky build where you actually go into a charge all-in or something like that and don't take the gases of the natural, sure, whatever, but you see the gases taken, you see the Phoenix, there's the assumption that it's going to be a macro game, and he'd be right in that. So Spurclaws are put down. Oracle's not going to do any damage. But we do have a War Prism already on the way, which I'm a little surprised by. Oh, okay. So Templar Archives on the way too. I think this will time out pretty close to perfect. I'm gonna have that War Prism over across the map with 4 gateways worth of production. And the Temple Archive's done. For our barcode, we just have a regular old Zerg thing where we're going for the +1 missile, roaches. Roaches, the safest way to open up as a Zerg player. Maybe not the coolest unit or the most useful unit sometimes, but certainly a standard sturdy unit. So I imagine, well, we'll see what exactly the barcode player wants to do, but you can defend against the Archon drop fairly easily with this. They don't die as easily as the Lings, as long as you know where the Archon drop is coming into. And any charge lots that could accompany it, you also deal with that very well. But is he going to make enough roaches to do a counterattack? That's where I'm questioning things. Now, the Archon drop did time out perfectly well. It's not going to have any zealots on the way, however. Some, you know, more aggressive versions of this build do have charge finishing up in like 30 seconds, as opposed to just starting right now. But Infestation Pit is on the way, so never mind what I was talking about with the mass roaches. That's a very, very fast Infestation Pit, and I'm really wondering what this means. Is it going to be Swarm Host? Is it going to be an absurdly fast hive against Protoss? You don't usually get absurdly fast hives versus Protoss. You don't even really get them versus Terran that much anymore, and that was a standard for a very long time. So I'm feeling Swarm Host, but we'll see. Archons are still going to try and do damage, but once that Warp Prism goes down, you just lose all map control, all map presence, harassment opportunities. It's much better to keep the Warp Prism alive and just kind of feel bad about not doing harassment than it is to try and do harassment and let it die. And it's going to be Swarm Host. Hey, look at that. Thank you, Dr. Sidewonder, for the 35 months. Oh, hello. Hello to you, too. Thanks for the bitty bits, Indavarn. Rando played Roach Hydra Lurker like a god. Oh, yes, he did. And he used the roaches to the effect I was talking about just a minute ago, where he made an excess of them and countered immediately, which almost worked well. Almost won the game. But if you didn't already watch Reigner vs. Classic, you should watch it, so I won't even spoil it, just in case you haven't. But the Warp Prism's still trying to do damage. As long as its shields are up and running, then so be it. That's fine. There's no Hydras to instantly tear it down. There's no Mutas, obviously. Queen should never be able to kill it, but as I say it, the caster curse. I think I see this happen too often, by the way. Queen starts spreading creep over to the 4th base, and the Warp Prism just goes right through it. Bam, instantly killed. That sucks. But at least that wasn't the fastest Warp Prism death I've ever seen. If it dies a minute and a half earlier, oh, it's terrible. It's terrible for MCanning. Dying at 7.5 minutes. It's not great, but at least it lasted a little bit. The Swarm Host, I believe, are a surprise. The Oracle's not really done a lot of intel gathering, so Nexus immediately goes down. Hard to do anything about that, though. Even if he knew, he wouldn't have known exactly what the Swarm Hosts were, because he is missing that revelation. But now that he knows about Swarm Host, this Oracle's job is just to tag them, in my opinion. Because the best deterrent, I think, to Swarm Host is just to not let them get close. That is a very good grab in all those roaches, though. That was a lot of roaches to die. That's revenge of the Warp Prism, I guess. We do have Hydras on the way now, but MCanning might have lost a Nexus. He is on 2 other healthy mining bases. He's on Storm with +2. Low supply blocked. No Warp Prism, actually. No, I don't like this. I realized he didn't have a Warp Prism. I don't think I like this, but we're gonna watch it unfold. Nexus is killed, I think. Yep. No cancel. Spine Claws are being put down, and things are about to get base trading. Now this is gonna be really weird. No, I don't think either of them are prepared for the situation, although Barcode looked like he tried to prepare. There's no warp-in reinforcements, nor is there any micro for that very tiny army here. Recall is available, though, and I feel like he should use it. Those Locusts, if they do go on the ground, are going to kill everything. Storm is using the Roach Hydra, and the Locusts start to fall here. Well, literally descend, I guess. And they are grabbing every single unit, but no recall is going down. Just killing an Extractor. Oh, the Locusts run out of time. Lucky MCanning. He does deal with the attack over here. It was just pure Roach, so charge out Warp-ins and an Oracle helping out to the best of his ability. Did end up cleaning that up, but how in the world does MCanning win this? Barcode has so many minerals. What's the wrong button? Barcode has so many minerals. If he had this much bank in a Roach Hydra army all collected together, I think he wins Maybe like 80%, but as it is right now, he's losing portions of his army as they spawn. He's unable to use his entire bank. His swarm hosts are being forced to pop their locusts. At least they do trade out, however. Free units in the situation, probably very good. But things settle a little bit. Oh no, an immortal. Oh gosh. Things settle a little bit. And where are we now? We have Barcode with 3 bases. This is being retaken. And we have MCanning with 3 bases, of which 2 have been undisturbed this entire time. Now taking a 4th. That's a 60 army supply deficit, but... Huh. But, you know, a lot of the supply of the Barcode is in swarm hosts, which may or may not be helpful. They do not have their locusts. Oh, they were gonna run into the army. That could have been bad. Now they have their locusts. Well, now it could be bad for MCanning. Yeah, I'd say run away from that. Locust, what are they gonna go for this time? They could go for the Nexus again. MCanning's gonna throw down a Dark Shrine. I don't think it's... well, yeah, I think it is desperate. Nexus is gonna go down again, and also gonna scout the Dark Shrine. Kill the Dark Shrine! Lots of lost minerals there. MCanning now down 60 overall supply, of which, what, 30 or 40 is in Swarm Host? They're pretty supply heavy still. But that's still a decent number of Roaches and Hydras. And, you know, you don't want to bank your entire army on knowing if the Locusts are going to pop soon. Well, not knowing, I guess. Well, the Oracle still casting Revelation certainly helps. If that thing dies, there's no way MCanning knows where the Stormhosts are going to hit, or if they're just right in front of him. You know, he doesn't want to run into the army. He's really dependent on the storms, which are positional. This Oracle's pretty useful here. He's going to go back into that Dark Shrine, feeling a little bit desperate. 4th base is not going to be scouted, I believe. This ends up being a very tricky base. Oh, the High Templars are casting a ton of storms. They defended themselves. They are High Templars who don't need no other army to protect them. That was almost a disaster if you wasn't paying attention. But our Barcode has resaturated that 4th base and now is on to a 5th. I guess the infestation pit was killed? Nope. That's called habit right there. Ladies and gents. That's a, oh, I should get hive soon. Alright, that's a little awkward. But this fight's also potentially awkward. The Locust would help out so much, but the Roach Hydra army is so susceptible to the storms and the Immortals, which is exactly what happened. The Locusts aren't even moving for half a second. They're gonna run out of time before they can actually help here. They're gonna run out of time before they can even kill the Nexus, which is what they're gonna try and focus fire. Oh, it's gonna be close. He can actually shield battery. Oh. Okay, well now he thinks about shield battering. Good idea, good idea. That was awfully close, but he saves the Nexus. He's got a charge lot attack up to the north that's going to be able to take care of this base and maybe even get a lot of drones at the 4th, because I think Barcode has no army back there. No, he's spine crawlers, though, which might help out a little bit. And things are awfully tense, and remember that Barcode still has no idea about this 4th base. He's going to start questioning, scratching his head, why does MCanning actually have an army? Is Protoss really this bullshit? And he's going to realize that that 4th base is up there. Well, 3rd, technically, I guess, but whatever. He has a full mining base with about 60 probes. The Swarmos are found out! They're found! They just popped their Locusts on the Nexus, of which they will finally kill. But he loses all the Swarmos for it. Is that really worth it? I would say that's not bad, considering Barcode's bank, but he's still not using it. Look at this larva. He's not even using the larva that he has. That's 9 larvae. That could be 9 more Hydras or something. He needs to rebuild Queens as well. Oh, gosh. I think the tenseness of the situation is really getting to our Zerg player here, whereas MCanning, you know, might be definitely making mistakes here and there. I think is overall keeping a bit of a better level head, and is, you know, at least trying to use his minerals and gas whenever he can. Now is double expanding, but not to his main again. No, fuck the main. 3rd base and a 5th base, which Barcode might not expect. Burrow had been researched for quite some time. This is a desperate situation for our Protoss army. But storms are going down. I guess it's not really worth recalling at this point. Unfortunately, a lot of the Zerg army will be low, but it will not be dead. The recall saves 1 immortal at health. That's it. Oh, but DTs! Finally! DTs! They came! They did not come in peace, though. They came to kill a hatchery that is protected by spine crawlers. Oh, he's gonna be able to save it. Those spine crawlers were a huge help, but that is gonna be a target for next time. 6 swarm hosts being reinvested into. Looks like our Barcode is also thinking about Mutas, potentially. if you can't spend your minerals and gas well, or you have a severe imbalance of them, mutates can really help that. That's a choke for storms. Yeah, that's a no-go zone for Barcode. Hive is finally on the way. He did get 2 infestation pits after all, and I imagine one of them was for the Hive. Storm is being a real savior of our MCanning here. He's been down a lot in supply. Once again, down half the supply, but trading consistently at half the supply because of those storms. War Prism no doubt going to be used for more Dark Templars. Maybe split them up this time? We'll see. 5th base is found out, but the 4th base still goes unseen. Stormhosts have made a reappearance, of which I don't think MCanning knows that, and he has lost all those oracles, so it's going to be really tough to track them. That was, you know, it was the reason he was able to kill him in the first place. DTs say hell nah to that base and go towards here. There is a single spine crawler that is not going to be enough. Oh, well, no, apparently it is. MCanning says not to do anything and goes for the freebie 5th. Storm hosts are forced to pop their locusts as they are retreating. The rest of them are used to once again kill this Nexus. Shield batteries are being used to recharge the Nexus. Is it going to go down? It is going to go down. Locusts just too flipping good, and they have upgrades? Does Locust get upgrades? They do, right? Infestitarians get them now. Again, so don't Storm hosts. Anyways, regardless, like, they're pretty good, even if they don't have upgrades. The DTs finally decided to move into that base that was basically free for doing so. They get a Spore Crawler, that'll be a lot of kills, but they're just going for the drones, which ends up being a decent amount anyways. Could definitely kill that Hydra. Oh, too late. Locusts are popped. MCanning doesn't quite see it. Now he sees all those locusts, but he's already going to use the storms on the front line. He's going to lose all of his army once again. MCanning has lost so many Immortal Storm armies. If it wasn't for this base, I'm pretty sure he's dead. And now he has this base fully saturated. Going in once again with DTs, and this Barcode Zerg is probably thinking Protoss really is bullshit. He's been on 3 bases. He only just got this 4th. He hasn't had his main Nexus his entire time. How in the hell is this guy affording anything? Well, turns out, Barcode, you have been keeping track of all of the bases. Finally was able to upload my match in the sub channel. Hey. Cool stuff, Husky. Lamore's gonna try and take as good of a fight as possible, but not really gonna be that great. Upgrades have truly been forgotten about, or just intentionally discarded from our Protoss player. He could have been up to +3 by now, but honestly, it's not been so much the, you know, extra attack from the charge lots of the Immortals has been saving us from the Storms, which don't get benefits from upgrades. So, I don't mind it, I do definitely want him to keep using his minerals and gas, which he's been doing a good job of. I'm not worrying about that yet. And thank you, Natesness, or Natesness, for that Twitch Prime sub. No, don't tell him. I wonder if does he have a gateway problem at all? No, 7 gateways is pretty good. Things that you would usually consider if the game was more of a normal one, but so abnormal, I thought maybe he would have fallen behind. I guess on, well, what is he? I mean, he's on, how do you even say how many bases he's on? This isn't mining anymore. He's on 2 bases, going on to 3. Well, 7 gateways makes sense for that. It's like 3 going on 4, I think that you go up to more. So yeah, I think he's good. And he's, you know, investing in a sack defense. This is really good. I do want to note, just point in favor of Ling-based styles of play, because I have to point out when they're better, because I love Lings. But if this was upgraded Lings, I feel like Ling run-bys would have been just demolishing to MCanning. They also might have flipping found this base too, which is a huge problem. But Locusts grab a couple of Zealots, are unable to chase that far. His base finally goes down after the TTs did so much damage to it. And both of them are investing in sack defense, but looks like our Barcode has not been diligent about Overseers using their surveillance mode. It's called something different for Zergs. I don't know why it's called something different, but it's something different. It's not surveillance mode. Broodlords reveal themselves. That is something that the Barcode has had in his back pocket for some time. And only now does MCanning realize, oh shit, he went to a Greater Spire. I thought I was doing a lot more damage than that. Probably. But the fleet beacon is still on the way. Obviously, you started off the game with a Stargate, so you're already at least one step ahead. And in an emergency, Void Rays can try and be good. So they can try. They're definitely good against the Corruptors, but because they're limited on that range, if they get sucked into the Hydras, they die very quickly, which is almost inevitable when they're trying to take care of Broodlords. That's why Tempest Carriers are a bit better. The Zealots are now murdering, I went for murdering and slaughtering, moddering the drones, also dealing okay damage to the Hydras trying to respond. That's 38 drones, 39, 40 drones in total that have gone down, as well as half a dozen Hydras, because the charge lots and Hydras have not a lot of health. Army to the north side, Army to the bottom side. He's gonna lose that Nexus, but he might be able to take out a hatchery. Storms go down, and those Hydras stood no chance. They were all alone in this world, and the Locusts obviously were already been popped, so the Swarm hosts look dumb trying to respond to this. At least our Zerg saved all of his drones, but he saves 40 drones for what? There's barely any mining over here. There's no mining over here. There's a warp prism that's been there for a very long time. It's going to deny any attempt at a hatchery, and our Barcode has finally used all of his minerals too. So he's literally long distance mining to try and get another hatchery. That's a bad sign. MCanning has, through sheer force of will, it feels, won this game, of which there were a lot of mistakes made. He's once again going to lose a lot of his immortals, but I think he's done it. Only 20 supply down. He's about to have an answer to the Broodlords. In this case, because he's taken out so many, if not all of the Hydras, one Hydra lives. Because he's taken out all of the Hydras, Void Rays are going to be a fine answer against Broodlords, because they can take out those Corruptors without really worrying about being killed, unlike Classic and his Tempests. But seriously, this is going to end up going well for MCanning. What a crazy game. He's not even getting on top of the Swarm hosts. Starts killing those off. Free units was the Zerg's only hope. I don't know if you can hear the rockets going off behind me, but July 4th was yesterday, losers. I don't really hate that people do fireworks before and after July 4th. I just feel bad for people who have pets that don't like it. Oh, those Void Rays just true through the Broodlords. It would be fine for them to target fire the Broodlords. It's also fine for them to take care of the Corruptors, but this Zerg is dead, and this Zerg will die, never realizing why MCanning has so much shit. Never saw this base. He's not gonna see this base. MCanning, clever boy. He took that base. I feel, if I was watching his stream, I feel like that's the time where you're just like, ah, fuck it, maybe he won't see it, and then he didn't actually see it, and you feel like a genius. That army's not gonna do it. Void Rays can actually just take care of literally everything in this army now. I feel like you have a crush on MCanning. That's a weird thing to say. Feels bad, female commentator giving praise to a player automatically assumes there's a crush on him. But that's it. Oh, no, GG. Sounds about right. GG. That was a good game. Thanks for that, Diesel. How much firework garbage lives around town? I don't go outside, so I wouldn't know. You could say it was a classic loss.